and we are live from Stockholm and the Women's EHF Euro. So hello everyone, and welcome to our Women's EHF Euro pre-tournament hangout, as we're just like 2 days, or 1 day, no, sorry, 1 day, 24 hours out of the first game. And as you see, there's only men here, and I apologize deeply for that. I know I did say Johanna Ahlm would join us, so I've got her here as you know, a little photo, a little video from 2014. Johanna Ahlm is obviously injured and is actually the TV expert here for Viasat, the Swedish broadcaster. So she's a multi-talent. I was just trying to show how good she actually is on both ends of the court. Let's see, you can see that. I actually turned for you, turn the sound.
Have time to change her, she's going to stay in goal. The temptation to shoot too early. Brindzak. Oh, she saves. Not sure she knew too much about it.
So here we go. Well, we would have had someone, a very good TV expert, but also a very good player and goalkeeper at the time. Björn, in your handball times, you were a goalkeeper and you were very good in terms of scoring as well, as far as I remember. Is that correct?
I tried my best, but in my younger days they said, what shall we do with him, even as he's left-handed, bring him to the goal. And yes, sometimes in the old times when we did not have the new rules, even sometimes there was a gap you could score as a goalkeeper.
All right, now joking aside, let's start. Very happy to present our experts here for today, and we are working on the technical difficulties and trying to get the plugin working for Johanna so that she can join us. So I welcome Peter Bruun. Obviously, in a European Championship that takes place in Scandinavia, we need someone from Scandinavia. Peter Bruun in Malmö. How are you, Peter?
Very fine, thank you. Had a nice trip over here, and the sun has been shining all day. So what more can you ask for? Maybe some good handball. I'm sure we'll get that from tomorrow on. Okay, and because now the sun has set, you just closed everything in your room and said, yes,
well, if it's dark outside.
I was watching on TV, I turned off.
I also welcome live from Kristianstad. You just heard him, former handball goalkeeper and our expert for everything German and beyond, Björn Pazen.
Hi, good evening.
And a new addition to our editorial team, working for us for the first time, Icelandic journalist Andri, and now you pronounce your second name, and I say Valsson.
Yrkill.
Yeah, I don't even. So for everyone, so for everyone, it's spelled Yrkill, and well, the pronunciation you've just heard.
How much you have to drink to pronounce it correctly?
It's so expensive to drink in Iceland, so I never say my middle name.
Only when you were born.
Is it actually? But now that we've got you here, Andri, maybe let's start talking about the defending champions who happen to have an Icelandic coach, obviously, for a number of years already. I think since 2009. 2009. There you go. Thank you. I would have said 2008, but I wasn't sure whether. Look who joined us.
If it looks like it's working for you, then just click on the link on the spreadsheet.
Okay. I think Johanna is about to join us, but we'll continue. Anyway, Andri, let's get back to Thorir Haugesson and his Norwegian team. Defending champions come here. They won the Golden League just a few days ago. What's your take on Norway to start straight away?
For me, they are the favorites. Of course, I'm maybe a bit biased because of Thorir, and I really like his methods and all that. But what he has shown in the past, that for me, Norway are clear favorites.
Yeah, Björn, would you agree?
No, I never agree. Of course, when you look in the history of Norway, I would say if you bet €1 on Norway, you get back €1.01, as they have been 7 times Euro champions. But I cross my fingers for my good old friend Yevgeny Trefilov, that this missing gold medal he will and the Russian team will take, as they've become world champion 4 times, now Olympic champion, and I hope for a final, maybe Russia against Norway, which we had I think 4 or 5 times. I've seen it already, so this would be a nice final. But of course, Norway, in a Scandinavian country with a lot of fans from their side, are among the favorites, but there must be a 5th different nation to win the Women's Euro.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but I think now it's time to welcome Johanna, who I think has sorted out all her technical difficulties and is ready to join us.
Yes, now it's working here.
Oh, perfect. And the sound's perfect. See, Johanna, I actually wanted to show this to kind of show the world what kind of a multi-sound. Do you remember that?
I remember that, and I saw it earlier today.
You know?
She scores.
It's very, very good.
Have time to change her. She's going to stay in goal. The temptation to shoot too early. Brindzak.
It's very.
She saved. Not sure she knew too much about it.
Very impressive, I have to say. Very impressive.
Yeah. I saved the ball with my head, so I don't know if it was a bit lucky.
But you saved it. You saved it.
Yeah.
No, what I wanted to say is obviously a very versatile player, very good on both ends of the court. Now you turn TV expert, and in the past 5 minutes, we even turned you into computer Google expert, I think.
Yeah, you just restart the computer and then it works. So,
so sometimes it's the easy solutions that work best.
Yes.
Very pleased to have you here on our Hangout. Very good to have you here. We did invite you as an expert. Maybe you can just tell us a bit about your role that you will have at this Euro, because obviously, unfortunately, you will not be able to play.
No, I will try to be an expert at Viasat. Yeah, and I will not comment the game, but I will be in the studio and talk before the games and after the games and during the games, maybe a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm more nervous now than normally when I'm playing. So,
so that's the perfect preparation now here to get you started for tomorrow.
Yeah, it's fine. It's good to hear some other thoughts than my own. So it's good. Yeah.
Tomorrow is the premiere, is that correct? So you will you'll be in the studio for the Sweden-Spain game and also for the Serbia-Slovenia game, for both games?
Yes, all games in the Swedish group.
All games in the Swedish group. Just before you joined, because we thought that would be a good start into this Hangout, we talked about Norway. And obviously,
I heard a little bit about Norway and Russia.
Yeah. What's here? So we had Andri. Andri is from Iceland, and obviously he, with Norway having an Icelandic coach, said they're going to do it again. Whereas Björn, the lovely man in the jumper with the stripes, he said Evgeny Trefilov is going to win his first European Championship gold. What are your thoughts on Norway?
Yeah, I think Norway will be as good as they used to be. I think with Løke, she means a lot for the team, but still they have like 8-9 players who have played many games together and they know each other really good. And now they have some young players with the team for the first time. So I think that Norway will be one of the teams in the final. And I actually don't think that Russia will be the other team. I think maybe after the Olympics they had some, I think 2 players stopping. And now I think I missed some players in the Russian team. I think Ilina playing in Rostov-Don is one of the best. And yeah, I don't know. I think they will be a little bit disappointment.
Peter, after you've heard Johanna, after you've heard Björn and Andri, what's your take on Norway?
Well, I definitely to see them in the top again. I'm not sure to win. I'm a bit Though it's terrible for me to say it. I agree a bit with Björn that Russia might be a good tip for the title this time. It's correct that they are missing some of the experienced players who ended their national team career, but they also have some very exciting young players on the way, which whom I'm looking very much forward to seeing. If that will be enough, it's a big question. But I definitely see, to get back to Norway, I definitely see them facing some challenges. Partly because of that they are missing Yrkill. It puts a lot of weight, a lot of pressure on my man Fabio, who have to carry a lot of playing time at both ends of the court for more or less than 60 minutes in more or less every match. So I'm interested. It would be interesting to see how Norway copes with that. But Norway and Russia are my two top favorites, with a dark horse which I would like to put into this debate also, the Netherlands. I expect really much of them this time. They play a very fresh kind of handball, which I like very much, and I think that well, I'm a bit biased now, maybe, but I think that having got Helle Thomsen as their new national coach, even though she's only there temporarily, as it seems, I think that's a very good match, and I have a rather high experience in the Netherlands. Also because they are, I would say, in the easiest half of the tournament. In the first part of the tournament, the group phase and the main round, they don't run into other top favorites like, for instance, Norway and Russia, who are in the same half. And I think that may play a part.
Mm-hmm. The good thing about having Peter on the Hangout is that he basically manages to summarize everything within like a minute and a half, and then it's like you don't actually know what is left. But maybe Björn, coming back to you and coming to Russia, what makes you, Peter? What makes you so confident that they could go all the way again? Again, I mean, after their Olympic victory.
So, in my opinion, it's this phenomenon, what both of you, Johanna and then Peter, have mentioned. You're missing some players. Of course, Bliznova stopped, Ilina is not nominated, Kuznetsova is injured, and sometimes Trefilov or Russia comes to mostly World Championship with a team with 8 young players nobody's seen before, and they become world champion. Like, for example, in 2009, when they became world champion in China, they had a team with 2-3 stars. So I would say they have this hunger now. They are really, I heard that in the way of treating his players, Trefilov changed a little, so I would not call it democracy, because he never would call it democracy, but it changed a little bit, and he's always the one who is absolutely focused on a tournament. Of course, it will be a highly interesting group. What Peter mentioned is this group with Norway, Russia, and Romania. So those teams will take or snatch the points away from each other. So there might be a lucky team from Group D or Group C to go to the semifinals, because the top favorites have taken the points against each other. But I still think that when you saw it on the Olympic Games, the importance of defense in women's handball has changed a lot. When you see a final like France against Russia, they have 2 strong and tall defense sides. And it was the contrast of this typical Scandinavian match play with a lot of counterattacks. Russia had some counterattack players, but without Kuznetsova, they lost one of their weapons then. So I'm sure that this year it will not be the Norwegian or the Scandinavian running and then shooting counterattack turnover match play that decides the Euro.
Mm. Andri, Björn mentioned this Russian hunger. Would you say that on the other side, because you supported, or you had Norway placing definitely ahead of Russia, would you say that this defeat they suffered against Russia in the semi-final is something that kind of angered them so much that they say, well, this is never going to happen again?
Definitely. And speaking about hunger, I totally agree that also applies to Norway. They have blood on their teeth after Rio and are eager to show their real face here in Sweden. And I expect many also Norwegian fans to come here and cheer them on. So it's going to be exciting, I think.
Jessica, I just have to say that these bottles are really nice. It's a bit of advertisement. I say yes to EHF Euro water. It's very nice.
Yes, they look good.
Yeah, it's very good. It's not you, Johanna, is it? Not just.
No, they choose the wrong player, but yeah.
They chose the wrong player.
No.
But it is. I think it bridges us, or it leads us very nicely to Sweden. Johanna, you're obviously still very close to the team. Can you just give us the latest update? Because the most recent news after the test games against Germany, there was a slight injury to Isabel Gulden's thigh. Natalie Hagman had some problems with her knee. Lynn Bloom, there was a bit of doubt about her. Can you just summarize what's the latest content is?
Yeah, I think that both Bella and Natalie Hagman is fine, and they will play on Sunday. Lynn Bloom is, I think she will play. She got a positive answer on her MR scanning, but she haven't trained and played in weeks. So yeah, I think they have the other line player here in Stockholm too. So yeah, we will see tonight. I think they announced the 16 players, and then they have Hanna Blomstrand. She injured her foot in the training Thursday. But yeah, it was just what you say. I think she's will play, and Bella and Hagman is fine. So yeah, I think the Swedish team is all right, and they have many good players. I think maybe that's one of the best things with the team. That Bella is of course very important, but otherwise they have many players who can take the big role. So
could you feel the excitement growing, whenever you spoke to him ahead of this championship? Because obviously it's a big thing playing a Euro on home court. Sunday will be sold out, 8,000 fans in the Hovet Arena.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird when I stay here at the hotel and they're not here, and I'm alone. So it's hard to feel how they feel, and I'm not inside the handball bubble. What do you now call it? So when I've talked to them, I think they feel they seem calm and concentrated, and not too much focus that it's in Sweden. So I think that has been good. You just because it's here in Sweden, it's good that they stay calm and not concentrate too much on everything around the handball.
Andri, you saw them at the media call today when they met the journalists. What was your impression of the team?
Well, I asked them about this pressure that comes with it playing on home ground, but they said that it was mostly a positive thing. Like playing in front of their friends and family is something that will give them something extra, which is needed, especially first game against Spain, something they need to build on. But so a pressure, they said, but a positive pressure. Peter, because you're usually covering these teams for us during the non-championship times, how have you seen Sweden? Also, looking at their test matches, which always saw two very different halves. If I remember, for example, the test match against Germany, I think, in which they led 20-10 and then played 28-28, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Well, I think it's very, very important for Sweden that they seem to get both Isabel Gulden and Natalie Hagman fit. Now that Johanna can't play, it's extra important that Bella can play, and also that Lynn Blom seems to be fit. As I see their the line player position as one of the positions where they are really challenged, where Henriksen then really has some challenges to face. So Bruun being fit, I think that is also very, very important for Sweden. Sweden can benefit apart from being at home, of course. I think they can also, like the Netherlands that I mentioned a while ago, benefit to a certain extent from the fact that they are in that's what I would call the half without the top favorites like Norway, Russia, and Romania. And I think that Sweden can benefit a lot along the way on that. And I think their chances in the tournament. The tournament may very well be defined by the opening match against Spain. I'm very interested and very excited to see how that is going to how that's going to be, because I think that we will see a lot about the Swedish chances and what they can actually do in that match. The driver who picked me up at the central station in Malmö drove me to my hotel, tried to convince me that Sweden were without any chance at all. I'm not sure I agree totally with him. We might see something from Sweden this time. Maybe not a medal like in 2010 and 14, but I wouldn't definitely not rule out that they might be a dark horse for a semi-final.
Well, never distrust a cab driver's knowledge. They have their pulse very close sometimes to, and they obviously talk to a lot of people. What were his reasons asking out of interest, or
he simply didn't find that seemed good enough?
Okay, well that's right.
I don't know if he had more news about Guldin and Hackman at home, but anyway, he didn't seem to believe much in their chances. But as he didn't believe in Denmark either, I didn't really pay much attention to his opinion. Okay.
Did he believe in anything?
In Norway.
Okay. Björn, to sum that up, you saw them in Germany as well, and these two different halves in that second test match made you smile as well.
I was there and I could not believe what I saw. The first half was, I would say, one of the biggest demolishments ever in the German women's handball team. And I never saw a German team weaker. And after the break, they scored 3 goals, and then everything was going down with the Swedish team. So, of course, Guldin got an injury, and I talked to Henrik Signell after the match, and he said to me that this was the biggest lesson he ever learned since he's with the national team. And he said that it's good to have it before the Euro, of course. They sitting on the bench and could not believe what was going on the field. So I would say what I did not, maybe Johanna can give me a clue about it. What I did not understand is why Sweden is doing their last test matches in another country. It's just about to promote the Euro, and they come to Germany and play it far away from home. Is this a kind of special preparation for the team?
They did have a test match at home also on Wednesday.
I know.
Which they lost, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know why they played in Germany. Actually, I haven't heard the story behind that.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think the same as you, because now it's here and let's play, and in maybe some other cities to get more people watching. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I mean, I can only say that we obviously talked about it as well, and I think Björn, we talked about it,
yeah.
And the only explanation that I could come up with is that Henrik Signell, maybe actually wanted to deliberately take them away, so to say, from the focus, and have them a bit closer than he would probably have them in Sweden. He has been in charge for not so long, just about half a year, if I'm correct. Johanna, what's your impression every time you saw him, and maybe also compared to Helle Thomsen, compared to Thomas Iversen, who trained the team before?
Yeah, now I haven't had Signell as a real coach on the court, but what he have done with Sävehof I think he has done a great work, and he have, he, especially last year in the Champions League, where Sävehof had a little bit weaker team, they did some really good games. And what I think is the best with him is, as a national team coach, I think that he doesn't listen to everyone else, what they think, or you should use that player, she's the best. He do what he think is the best. Now he took Johanna Westberg instead of Linnea Torstensson, and that has been a very, very big discussion in Sweden. I think Linnea is very good, but I like that with Signell, that he does what he thinks is the best for the team. And on the coach, on the court, I actually haven't so much to say. Helle was a very good coach, and I think Signell is too. Maybe Sivertsson was a little bit better trainer, and not so specific, in timeouts and in halftime. So
let's have a look. I mean, obviously, we've got 16 teams at this championships, and maybe a few dark horses. The word dark horse has been mentioned a couple of times, but if I remember correctly, France has not been mentioned as one of the dark horses, and they are actually the Olympic silver medalists. Are they a dark horse for you, Andri? Because I think I haven't heard the word dark horse from you yet.
Well, when we are putting together the power ranking before the tournament, I put them second in both times. No, third or second after Norway and Russia. And I think, well, I would think they're definitely a semi-finalist, perhaps a finalist. So I would not be surprised if Norway against France would be the final.
So still up there. Björn, it's your group. They probably live about 2 or 3 kilometers away from you. I don't know whether you had a chance to see them already.
They live, I would say, 325 meters away from me, and they just
he's German. He's just like so precise all the time. This is so good.
Yeah, I'm Google Maps in this case. So yes, and I was there just before our hangout. We had they had their official media call before the start tomorrow, and of course, Peter is the one who always has these horses. He owns some horses, I would say, in Denmark, and definitely France is for me also one of the semi-finalists. They don't play the most attractive handball, but we are again at the point which I mentioned before, that the defense of them is simply a wall. I think Johanna played a lot of times against them. It's just running like if you're a rubber against the wall, and you have the middle block and strong goalkeepers. So the interesting fact is we are again at the 2 halves of the Euro again, or even if we did not play one single match. So in the end, in the groups A and B, we have 3 teams which have chances, in my opinion, to go to the semi-final, which is Sweden, Netherlands, and France. So in this case, we will have the last match here in Kristianstad is France against Netherlands, and I would say the team which takes the points in this match is clearly a favorite for the semifinals then. And after getting defeated in the Olympic qualification, but then beating the Netherlands in Rio in the semifinal, it will be an absolutely open matter. But of course, for me, with I call him Midas a little bit, Olivier Grumpholz, what he touches is not only gold but also sometimes silver, and he has this Midas touch when he came back. So I would say the team is ready, and when you talk to the players, they are absolutely confident not to return home without any silverware.
Peter, they weren't in your dark horse collection, France, as far as I remember.
No, I don't see them as a dark horse. I see them as a favorites. And Norway,
good.
It's bigger favorites, but France is definitely also in the field of favorites, and I'm looking very much forward to seeing them. It has been said here, and many people say that they may play a bit of boring handball. But if you like to see defensive handball, defense brought to its perfection. I think that France is some kind of a treat for the eye. It's really interesting to see how they work in the defense. Now they seem to have dug up their old 5-1 defense from the times of Wendling, and that will be very interesting to see if they also come up with that here in Sweden. So I'm really looking forward to watching France and seeing what they can do about things.
Was bringing back Krumpholz like some kind of blessing for them from your point of view, Peter?
From what I've seen so far, I think it's definitely a blessing to the team. He has not only brought more tactical skills back, but it also seems to me as the team as such is blooming. The players are blooming with him in charge. So I think his return has been very good for us.
Johanna, let's have a look at Sweden's first opponent tomorrow. And we only look back 2 years ago. Spain won silver at the Euro. Where do you see them right now?
Spain is a little bit like Sweden. They are good, and they are like 10th place or something. So yeah. You never know with Spain and Sweden, and I actually haven't seen Spain now before in the games before, but they are good. They have the same players as they had a long time, and they have their fast players, and yeah, they have a good goalkeeper. So I think it will be Sweden and Spain as number 1 and 2, but I don't know who will be the first team in this group, in Sweden's group. So. Yeah, it feels like both those teams are like you don't know what to expect.
Well, Andri, what do you expect from tomorrow? You're going to be in the hall. What kind of game do you think we'll see?
Well, I actually talked to Henrik Signal earlier at the media call and asked him simply like, do you think it's a do or die straight from the beginning? And well, he didn't say do or die, but he definitely underlined that those teams are the 2 best ones in the group, like we guess all agree on. And the team coming out on top tomorrow is gonna win the group for sure for me.
It's the first match, Johanna, and obviously, well, how do you rate the importance of the first match? How do you rate the importance of the first match?
Yeah. Of course, it's really important, but I think the other 2 games might be more important. But it's always good to have a good start. And now in the games before, they had like 10-15 minutes who has been really bad, and where they lost like 10 goals in just like this. So of course it's an important game, and it's important to see like we talked before, on which players who can play and in what how they can play when they haven't trained in a week, and for Lindblom it's longer. So it's important, but I think it's good to have Spain, because if they're not winning, it's just to win the other 2 games. So it's a good start for them, I think.
How did you prepare? Like when you look back, for example, 2 years ago, how did you prepare for like the championships first game, in which I think back then you played against Croatia, didn't you? Was that your first game?
My first game in
2 years ago at the Euro in Hungary and Croatia.
Yeah, then we had Croatia. Yes.
Yeah. But how did you prepare for that first game? Was it?
But it's not. You don't prepare in another way, because it's the first game. Then you might have a little bit more time to look at the players and to talk a little bit more. But you watch videos and maybe the 2 trainings before. Then you look at their players and what they do for defense and attack. So it's nothing extra with the first game. Then you need to work with the mind up here.
A group that I think we haven't looked at all is Group C, Peter. Malmö, your group. Is there a reason why we haven't looked at it? It's a very interesting changes, I think, in a lot of teams, sometimes forced, sometimes unforced.
I think this group looks very interesting. At first sight, before we saw the squads of the various four different nations, it looked very predictable. Montenegro would go on top, and then Hungary and Denmark would fight off the second place, and the Czech Republic would go home. I've seen what players the various nations are actually coming up with. Things are definitely getting much more interesting, I think. I think we all know that Denmark will be very content just to finish among the 12 best. And again, had you asked me a month ago, I would say that would be a very realistic objective. But looking at what especially Montenegro and Hungary are coming with for different reasons, I think that the Danes might allow themselves to aim a bit higher. Montenegro have said goodbye to some players for various reasons. Hungary are very, very severely hit by India, and that really makes me feel sorry for my old friend Kim Rasmussen, but that's also part of handball. And looking from a Danish perspective, that definitely increases the Danish chances to not even qualify for the main round. I would expect them to do that anyway, but also to take some points with them, and maybe even come out on top of this group.
So Denmark are rubbing their hands in.
I think that just like Sweden against Spain, a match will be defined the day after tomorrow when Denmark run into Montenegro. I think we will definitely see some standard sets for the tournament, or at least for that group in that match. Well, I definitely think that the Danes have a very good chance this time.
Björn, looking at Montenegro, Bulatovic not nominated, Radicevic not part of the squad. Was it time for a change? Was that a forced change? I mean, also after the Olympics, we had this like Acic goes, Acic stays. From what you've heard, from what you've know, what's going on in Montenegro?
So the whole story is a little bit strange. Bringing back Popovic for Olympic Games, I thought this was a nice promotion for handball and the TV viewers in Montenegro, but it could not have been together with sport. So, and then they went home after the first round, and then Acic said, okay, I take the responsibility and go. So then Acic said, I'll come back. And the thing is that those players who are out now, they retired or they were not nominated anymore. They are not 35 or 36. When you see Bulatovic is not the youngest anymore, Radicevic is not the youngest, Bajakarovic is not the youngest, but they're still in an age where they could play 3-4 more years. So my opinion, there are two options. The option one is they want to grow for a team for 2020 in Tokyo for the Olympic Games. Or they were just looking for, okay, if Acic stays, then it was the players' fault what happened in Rio. And because usually the atmosphere in the Montenegrin team was okay. There was nothing fights in the team. So it might be from the top of the federation saying, okay, we have to make a cut now and we have to have a completely new team. But it really sounded a little bit strange to me.
From your preparations for your TV job, Johanna, what's your take on Group C?
Yeah, it's a hard group to I haven't seen the team so much now, and it's like you said, Hungary, you don't know what to expect. Montenegro, you don't know what to expect. Denmark, I have seen them a little bit in Möbelringen Cup, but yeah, it's a lot up and down. They have some good periods, but it feels like they haven't got their harmony in the team. I really like the Danish handball, and I hope they will have a good tournament. But yeah, I don't know how strong they are.
I forgot to mention one fact which is quite funny in this group. This is that only 3 other nations than Norway had become European champions since the first Euro in '94, and all 3 play in this group: Hungary, Montenegro, and Denmark.
That's true.
that I think you've just increased the odds for Czech Republic to become European champion. You know, at Bet at Home or so. You know, well, you know, we never know. In 2 weeks, 2 weeks time, we're faster. Well, Peter, we've talked about Denmark. Johanna, we've talked about Sweden. Andri, unfortunately, Iceland is not part of this championship this time. But Björn, a quick glance at Germany and their chances in Group B.
The good thing for the players is that the coach before the Euro already took all responsibility for all negative results on him. He said we are in the middle of the preparation for our Home World Championship 2017, and the Euro is a very important intermediate step. But in case we lose 3 matches, it was the fault of the coach because we did not have enough time for preparation. This is what he really said. So what I say is nothing against Danish coaches, Peter, but after 2 Danish coaches, I think they needed a little bit more harder training, what the players even say for themselves. So Biekler in this terms was maybe the right person. And they impressed me in the second half against Sweden on last Sunday in Trier when they came back equalizing from a -10. So from the psychological point of view, that what the players said, this result gave us more confidence than the first draw against Sweden, because on this match we were on the same level. But against a top team like Sweden to come from -10 to equalize, then this is good for their heads, I would say. Of course, they also have pregnant and injured players like Nadgornaya, Minevskaya, and Smits. So all 3 players of the German team, which were not born in Germany, are out at the moment. So they cannot play at the Euro. But yeah, some players like in the goalkeeper with Woltering, Kramaric, and Yrkill, they're quite good. So before the Euro or before the nomination of the Polish squad, I would have said it's a do-or-die match with Poland to go for the main round. But now I think when Poland has to replace Karolina Kudlacz, that Germany might even earlier get the ticket for the main round, but definitely they will be below Netherlands and France.
I think, I mean, we're kind of running out of time, but I think two teams who've been at the very top in very recent past, we haven't talked about, and maybe we just go from left and right, at least here on my screen, starting Andri. A very quick take on the Netherlands. Are they ready for a medal now after having missed out obviously very narrowly in Rio and after the very successful World Championship? And a quick take on Romania, who obviously also played a very successful World Championship, but didn't play a really successful Olympic Games afterwards. And then we just go one by one and see what we can get about these 2 teams.
So starting with me.
Yeah, starting with you.
Well, about the Netherlands, I agree what was mentioned earlier, that they are really, I'm really excited to see them. It's been really going uphill for them for the last 12 months or so. And I totally put them, I think in the before mentioned power rankings, I think I put them 4th, but they could highly go higher. About Romania, for me, I haven't seen them play. I don't even remember when it was the last time, and for me they are more of a question mark. So if you are facing those 2 teams against each other, the Netherlands would come on top for me.
Björn?
Yeah, in my opinion, I talked to Helle Thomsen today, and maybe some saw the article which I had written already, and she gave her final ranking with a smile on her face: gold medal, silver for Sweden, and bronze medal for Denmark. And I would say the Netherlands definitely they have improved in the last 2 years, but it will be a new situation for them with a new coach for the first time since more than 10 years without Henk Kröner. Then Helle Thomsen brought in Maura Visser, who is the new playmaker, or back after 5 years where she did not play in the national team. So I'm still saying that the winner of France, Netherlands goes to the semi-final. And Romania, we're back at the Scandinavian coaches. The only medal Romania won was with a Swedish coach with Thomas Rüder. And this is also like for Hungary. They need some Scandinavian coaches for their, I would say, for more mental than physical training. Now they have a new coach with Ambros Martin from Győr. And in my opinion, Romania stands or falls with the performance of Cristina Neagu. So even as some players like Bradianu and Elise are out or injured now, so if Neagu is on top like she was in Denmark 2015, then Romania can be on top. And if Neagu is not on 100%, Romania will have no chance to go to the semifinals.
Johanna, a quick take on Netherlands and Romania?
Yeah, I don't believe in Romania, but I do believe in the Netherlands. I think that players like Yrkill will be even better with Helle as a coach. And I think they have a great team with some really good players with self-confidence. So I think they will win their medal this time.
Peter?
Well, I've said, I think, almost everything I was going to say about Netherlands. I would only say they have, of course, a special place in the heart of a Dane because of the many Dutch players who have played here. We still remember Nicky Groth, and we still love Estefana Pohlmann and Laura van der Heyden in Esbjerg also very much. And then I can only add, when was the last time Helle Thomsen did not have success? Why shouldn't she have it this time as well? Romania, I would say, just like Björn said, that they stand and fall a lot with Cristina Neagu. And then, of course, I'm very excited to see what Ambros Martin can make out of it if he can transfer his club success from Björn to Romania. I doubt it. And I think that Romania will be worn a bit out in the very tough preliminary group with Norway and Russia. By the way, a remake of the World Championship group in my hometown a year ago, when exactly those three teams collided too. I think that in a direct head-to-head comparison between Netherlands and Romania, Netherlands will come out on top.
Well, it's time to wrap it up, and obviously we always wrap it up with our little prediction game. I think Helle Thomsen started it this morning. Björn just gave us the Helle's ranking. Peter, your 1, 2, 3 ranking.
Well, this year has been a year of surprises in handball. Germany started by winning the men's European Championship. Then we saw Bucharest winning the women's Champions League and Chelsea winning the men's Champions League. So why shouldn't we finish the year with a surprise also? I would say number 1, Netherlands, number 2, Norway, number 3, Russia.
Okay. Johanna is just plugging her laptop in, so
yeah, I need
Björn, your 1, 2, 3 ranking.
Russia, Norway, Netherlands.
That's very straightforward. Andri?
A bit straightforward for me too. Norway, Russia, Netherlands.
Okay. Johanna, our special guest for tonight?
I say Norway, Netherlands, and France.
Norway, yes. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
What is the prize for the winner, Thomas?
The prize for the winner? Well, if we're all in Gothenburg, I still have like 16 days to decide. We'll have a nice drink all together at the end of this championship in a nice bar in Gothenburg.
Gothenburg is a lovely city.
There we go.
Yeah.
And I will pay for the winner.
Ooh.
That's some kind of promise.
Mouet Chandon is what I like most.
Okay. Well, I'll send you all my email address, you know, orders later. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure having you all here. Thank you very much to you, Johanna. All the best to your job at Viasat for the coming 2 weeks. For all Swedish watching us, obviously tune into Viasat. They broadcast the games, and Johanna is the expert. For everyone, all games are broadcast live on ehftv.com with English commentary. Follow us on our social media channels. Go to ehfeuro.com if you want to get the latest information. We're very happy to cover this championship for the next 2 weeks, and we hope you follow us. We hope you enjoyed this hangout. Thank you very much. Thanks to you again, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.